My name is AJ.
My name is Ken.
And I'm Andre.
Welcome back to the Keystone Podcast.
It's another week.
Yes. We apologize for releasing our last episode.
Yeah, it was a little later.
But we just want to inform you that we did cast it on Sunday.
Yeah.
So just because of circumstances, we were only able to release it on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But we are still doing a weekly grind of the Keystone Podcast.
We're committed to that.
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
And so we're very thankful for all our listeners who are like, yo, AJ, Ken, Andre, like when's the episode coming out? I thought it was coming out either on Thursdays or on Sundays, and now it's on a Wednesday of the next week.
Hey, the streak is still alive. Alive.
We really appreciate our viewers who are so dedicated and hold us to a set of standard and accountable for us, which we're so grateful for.
Yeah.
So thank you for our viewers.
And to all those giving us feedback, praise God for you guys, because we do want to grow for sure.
Amen.
We do want to grow.
And so we won't dilly-dally because we had our like updates already in a way. But there was a great solemnity this past week on Tuesday. Yep. And that was the Solemnity of St. Joseph. Fun fact, he is the protector of the Universal Church. Yeah. But also the patron saint of Canada.
Yes.
You know, for those that do not know.
Which I didn't know. I learned that.
He is a G, man.
I think Father Jim told us about that one during his Mass on Monday. Yeah, so that's great.
I love his, I just love his title. I think it's the most gangster in the whole church.
Which one?
Saint Joseph, terror of demons. He's putting the fright into evil. But the why is also interesting, though. Right? It's because of his obedience. Yeah. Obedience to God. That they had no effect on him, right? Like they're trying to get at him, trying to worry him, but he's like steadfast, focused, righteous man on what he's supposed to do. Yeah. Yeah. No, he earned that title. Man.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he's probably the second like greatest saint of all time. First being Mother Mary. I think he's just like slightly below that.
I agree. Yeah.
And I can't imagine a person who could enjoy their life more than he did, considering that like he got to spend it with the Queen of Heaven, and the King of Heaven, like in their presence. And what's cool is that I guess in history, like he died, like there's no records of it, but like he supposedly died in the arms of like the other two, of Mother Mary and Jesus. Like like what? That's amazing. Yeah, you know what I mean. And so that Saint Joseph is very dear to my heart because I have such a great devotion to the Holy Family, and obviously, man is part of that Holy Family, you know.
Yeah. So my devotion to Saint Joseph is still in its infancy, right? So I'm looking to learn a lot from you guys. So like, when did your devotion to Saint Joe?
My devotion to Saint Joseph started growing, I guess, when I started realizing that like I needed there was a lack of a spiritual fatherhood in my family. Okay. Like my dad is very great in many other things. He just doesn't like carry the faith, right? And so that's when I started looking to Saint Joseph as a guide and as a model. Yeah. Because I felt always burdened by like, like AJ needs to lead the family in the spirituality because he's the next guy. But really, like I have an older brother, he just doesn't do it either. So I always felt that burden, and because I tried to uphold it, I always felt like I was put into a box that I didn't really want to be into, but I did see that there was a need, because like I started growing in the faith and leading the family. Everyone was like, "Oh, AJ would be such a great priest. He would be such a actually not even just a priest. I could see him being like a bishop one day." I was like, and it's because like I was the only one that prayed, the only male guy that prayed in my family. And it was kind of like expected of me to do that, right? Now that I was like learning and growing in my faith, and I guess like when it comes to my vocation, I guess I also had to entrust that to Saint Joseph, who is like a member of the Holy Family, that like this conviction and this peace and this peace that I have of my vocation to marriage that I received at my first commency was something from the Lord, and
right on.
something that cannot be manifested by human thoughts or design, right? But obviously, like it wears and tears on you if like you believe one thing but other people believe in a different thing. So like but if I could say, like, the pivotal moment of my relationship with St. Joseph was I was at a York retreat. It was like my first like silent retreat with them.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I was just like, in a way, going through this like reconciliation with my dad, of like just like anger and resentment, and I was just lifting it up to St. Joseph. I was like, St. Joseph, like I'm blessed to have a father who does other great things, but I can't forgive him for lacking the spiritual fatherhood that was needed for my family. And there was just this immense consolation that St. Joseph is like, just because your father like doesn't have that doesn't mean that I can't be that for you.
Right.
And so that's when like St. Joseph kind of like took me under his wing, and it was like, don't worry, like I will build you into the husband and father that you will be for your future family. But like, don't worry. Like, and what's funny is that he doesn't talk, right? He's just a man of action. Like one of my favorite like memes of St. Joseph is they put a quote, but it's just like the quotation
just
marks
the quotation
and nothing.
marks, yeah.
Because he doesn't say anything. He just does things.
Yeah.
And I would say that's kind of how he interacts with me. He kind of just affirms me of the things that I need to do, and like to be obedient, and to be faithful to what God has asked of me. And you guys know, whenever like I do, like I close off with a prayer, I always do like one for Jesus, one for Mary, and the last one for St. Joseph.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so like I know I'm speaking a bit long, but yeah, no, St. Joseph has been very important to me, and I've been like, as I desire to have a spouse who's being molded by Mary herself, I desire to be a man molded by St. Joseph himself.
Wow.
So
that's beautiful, man.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
How about you? When did it start for you, Andre?
I don't have a devotion to Saint Joseph, like by any stretch of the imagination, right? But I do have a great admiration and a great respect for who Saint Joseph was. No doubt, after Mary, you know, one of the greatest of the great like saints to walk on this earth. And when I reflect on it, like, he's the foster father of Jesus, right? But God wouldn't just entrust his only son to any old man, right?
Yeah.
Like, he must have been a great man, right? Very, very great man. Very righteous, and he had opportunities to prove that, right? Just like, look at how he wanted to dismiss Mary quietly, right? Now there's two views of that, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Either some people say it was because he was very righteous and he did not want to see her get stoned or hurt, because the law, Moses' law, dictated that if someone betrothed to you cheats on you, she should be put to death, right? And that was his right to take that. Look at that shows great meekness to me, right there, right? Like, no doubt about it. He has a strength, this power that he can use, but he's like, you know what?
And tenderness.
I decide to choose love. It's love and mercy combined. Love and justice combines equals mercy, man.
Oh.
He just like laid that down there. And he didn't say, the fact that he didn't say a word, but he speaks volumes through our humanity, like, as a man. Yeah. And the other part that they say about Saint Joseph too, with Mary, is that he thought he was unworthy to have the new Ark of the Covenant within his house. So he was afraid to, like, he was like, no way, man. Like, Lord, I ain't worthy, right? And to have, like, you know, the angel of the Lord, like, affirm him and tell him, I'm choosing you to be the foster father of my son. That's powerful. And it's an affirmation for every man, for what your vocation is called for, that the Lord called you in a special and a unique way, not in some like haphazard, well, you know what, like you're the only one left, so I guess next up, right? Like, no, he called you for a purpose, right? And I just want to say one more thing on him. It's a little beef I have.
Oh,
right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do not like when they depict our Saint Joseph as some weak, frail old man. And AJ, why do they do that again?
Because they wanted to, in a way, like protect like Mary's virginity, saying like, oh, that's the reason why like they didn't like have sexual relations. But like that doesn't really make sense, because like wouldn't it make sense more if it was a young and viral man who had all these desires but tamed them
for sure
because of chastity, of love, and the proper orientation of that showing that love in its most genuine way, apart from the physical union of what it looks like in marriage, right?
And that man was tested for sure, because Mary, probably one of the most beautiful,
probably the most beautiful,
holiest of like holies, right? In terms of like women, like the new Eve, right?
Yeah.
And he had to be like, I was called to a mission, right? I got to put my mission that God is calling me first before I put my desires, right? Mad respect to Saint Joseph. What a legend out of the saints.
And I think because of maybe the chastity part of the relationship, I can only just imagine how much fun they had together. Of like
the everyday,
because like sometimes like, especially when people get into relationships, like they rush it with the physical chastity, and like sometimes the relationship becomes stale because that's all.
When you mean you rush it with the physical chastity, what
like
do you mean?
when they're not even married, like physical unchastity in a relationship.
Oh, unchastity, right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like then the relationship becomes stale because that's all they're doing. They don't see that there's more beauty with outside of that. So I'm just saying that like I can only imagine like how beautiful their friendship was, because like Christ was the center, but they also had such a profound chastity in their relationship. Yeah. Like they could probably be doing like so many different things, like making life worth living. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And I think it really helped that like they helped one another. I feel like because of Christ was the center of their relationship, they built each other up, like Mary and Saint Joseph, like striving for greatness, right? Thriving on the virtues and living for the kingdom, right? So like I can only imagine, and that's why I have to see Saint Joseph as a young and viral man, because it doesn't make sense for me that he's like an old, weak, fragile
he
dude.
Wasn't, bro.
Like how can he take care of Jesus and Mary when they had to run away from Herod, or when they had to escape to Egypt? Like that doesn't make sense to me. Like,
and who was taking care of them? That man had to go to work for 3 years, man. He had to like put in his hard work, right? He was not like no.
And so like if you also look at the aspect of Jesus as a carpenter, like where did he learn that from? He learned that from his foster father. Like he would spend time at the shop with him. Like they would work on things together, right? And so like I think there's a lot of attributes of Saint Joseph that made him so great, and one of them is his meekness. Of like he didn't flaunt his strength, but used it at the most appropriate times. Like. Imagine if a man used his strength all the time, and the moment that like, oh, you have to pack up and like leave Egypt, would he have enough energy? Like he'd probably be tired. It's just like using your strength at the time that it's most needed.
I also see him as the opposite of Adam. When Adam was passive, he was a man of action. Right. Yeah. Who was there on alert, protecting the Holy Family, right? When danger was coming, Saint Joseph on the ball, on his game, right? And you look back at Adam, where was he? right? Like when the snake came into the garden, he should have gotten him there.
Yeah.
But then when he approaches his wife again, where was he, right? Yeah.